Let's do this.
Hi, folks. This that's helpful. This is episode 32 of it. Yeah, of It's All Frolics. With me, Monique B, and my fave, Amy G. Wherever you are or whenever you are, thank you for pressing play and deciding to join us today. You're in for a treat. So, if you have been here before and you listened to last week's episode, you will know that it was hilarious because we decided to say fuck it and just have an episode full of Am I the Arseholes? Weird dilemmas, and just rant about them whilst drinking wine. We had a good time, so much so that we thought, let's just continue doing it. So here we are with part 2. Hilarity will ensue. I'm going to say it right now because I will more than likely forget. Do all of the things. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the follow, hit all the buttons. If you can click it. It costs you nothing, but it does everything to help the algorithms, and just let us know that you're out there and that you're listening and that you're having a good time. So with that out of the way, we're going to crack right on in. Short and sweet with me, my dear. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, I should have been more prepared. Okay, so here we go. This is probably quite an easy one. So this person writes in, my boyfriend and I have lived together for 1.5 years. During this time, almost every time he uses the bathroom to poop, somehow it gets on the toilet seat.
What?
Every time I ask him how does that happen, he says, I don't know. Am I the arsehole for telling him that he needs to clean the toilet seat before he leaves the bathroom every time that he uses it?
Brother,
To be
What's
honest, I
that?
just wanted to see Amy's face.
What's that, brother?
'Cause this is
Absolutely not. That is how are you leaving the bathroom with shit smear on the toilet? No.
How is this happening? Do you know, it's like, how is this happening? This is crazy. Like, is your butthole on your hip? Like, this is weird.
Yeah, where are you shitting
What are you doing?
from? Are you
This
like
is crazy
from a height and it's just you know, like dispersing at all angles? I don't and also I don't care how you're shitting into the toilet, but make sure it's going into the bowl. If it is anywhere but, it needs to be cleaned regardless.
I shouldn't know that you've been. I shouldn't be able to tell. This is crazy.
No. I mean, like, obviously, if you go in immediately afterwards, there's obviously a lingering fragrance in the air. We can't really do anything about that. Even when using VI poo and poo-pourri or whatever thing you like to drop in before it hits, the air freshener, there's always a telling smell, you know? So, but I don't want to see evidence of it.
And also, you are a grown-up. I feel like that's where it begins and ends. You are a grown-up. And you had to have seen it, no? And also, if I keep telling you this every single time, something should click in your brain, and maybe I should check to see what the situation is before I leave this room. What kind of rush are you in? This is crazy. Do you not love me? I always bring it back to this. This is a problem for me, which means it's a problem for you. Save yourself the aggravation, because you don't want to be having conversations with me about wiping up a pooey toilet seat. This is crazy.
But clearly they don't have any issues with that. They don't have any issues because it keeps happening. It keeps happening? Why am I walking into the toilet and seeing the evidence?
Yeah.
I don't need
This
to. Do you know, that's the kind of thing where I'll be like literally dragging yourself in there and rubbing your nose in it and being like, listen, if we're not
bad
going to be able
boy,
to
bad boy.
act, yes, if we can't act like grown folk, like human beings, then I'm going to treat you in the absolute worst way. And may I just point out, you shouldn't even do that to your dog. That's not actually helping them. I'm just putting the facts out there.
Okay.
But that should never be seen by the one that you love. Like, do a quick recce, all is good.
Yeah. Not time and
Bounce.
time again. Not time
No.
and time again. How does this happen more than twice? This is crazy. I mean, I don't want to leave you over it, but you know, you're forcing my hand at this point.
This is one of those things that, and it's a actual real reason why some people will end relationship. It's those small things that build up and create bigger resentments.
Absolutely.
Facts right now. So don't let them. Just don't let them. If your partner is saying or telling you this thing gets to me, don't let them happen more than once. Just sort yourself out. I was going to say sort your shit out and realize
no,
that's
but
not
please,
happening,
literally do that. Because you're so right. It is the small things that build up and becomes a huge thing. And the good thing about small things is that, generally speaking, they don't take any time at all to rectify. Do you know what I
No.
mean?
Yeah. Whilst we're on this topic, lift a
Ooh.
seat up as well, please. Can you clean under there too? Not just the top bit. Like it splatters everywhere.
It goes under. It does.
So I'm just saying, like some people don't think about that, but you fucking should. Old time outrage. I can't stand that. That hit a nerve. Oh.
Oops.
And to open the show with it?
I
Damn.
know. Okay.
All
What have you
right.
got?
So we have husband and wife.
Okay.
Wife is the one who's asking, am I the asshole? But maybe it should be, is he the asshole? Because husband wants to install CCTV cameras in their residence because she wakes up with scratches on her back.
Oh.
Okay, so the scenario unfolds where basically
this is giving me paranormal activity immediately. So I'm very intrigued and somewhat nervous to see where this is going to go.
No, you're all right. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. Basically, she opens up the dilemma, I guess, saying that she has sensitive skin and it suffers more from it in the summer because her skin gets itchy. So it's not uncommon for her to scratch herself, right? So the scenario opens up where he's been working overnight and comes home to find her like having washed the sheets very early, which he finds suspect. But he comes home and they have a shower together, and he's like, you have got like deep gouges in your back. And she was just like, oh, okay. Well, that makes sense because actually there were bloods on the sheets, hence me washing them this morning.
Right.
But he's like, oh, I don't know, they're quite far into your back. It's not like something you can really reach. And she's like, well, I'm quite flexible, but you know, I do scratch myself at night anyway, so it's not unplausible. Anyway, he's like, who are you having round here who's doing this to you? I don't feel comfortable with it. I want to install cameras in the apartment. She's like, babe, you know I scratch my own back at night, especially when it's hot, because I get itchy and I'm very flexible. She's demonstrating to him she
Okay.
can reach the spot, but his claim is that she can only reach it lightly with her fingers, not enough to make the deep gouges. So
Right.
I suppose it's, is he the asshole for wanting to install the cameras?
I feel like if she's demonstrated that she can reach it, part of me feels like this is projection. I feel like he might actually be doing something. To be
Mm,
honest, that's where my mind has gone. Because, yeah, show me that if it's that much of a concern, show me that you can reach it. Because if you can't reach it, then there's a problem. You'd be able to, I feel like you can pretty much clear that up straight away if that person can reach that very same spot and, cause the scratch to develop in the same direction, then yeah, it was them.
yeah.
But, if they can't do that, then yeah, someone else has done that. But if she's proven that and it's still not enough, what are you doing? Why are you trying to get out of this marriage so bad? Because
But
I'm
it's
not
the
going to
fact,
agree to
like,
you putting CCTV in the bedroom. No,
I
sir.
know it feels really
No.
creepy. Like,
It
unless you're both on
does.
the same page where you like to be viewed or you like viewing yourself, like
Yeah.
raising that up in conversation doesn't come as a surprise. But just because she's got a scratch on her back, I don't know. And I mean, listen, people can make all kinds of shapes when they're sleeping. How
That
many
part.
times have you woken up with a crick in your neck or your back or your foot and you're like, what the hell have I been doing?
I have
So
a
it might,
scar on my forehead. I still don't know how that got there. I didn't go to sleep with it and I woke up with it. Still don't know how. Maybe I've got the
that's
poltergeist.
nuts.
Mm.
Stoppi. No, thank you.
No,
I'm
and
not down for that kind of material.
after one event as well, like that's just not the knee-jerk reaction. Like, oh, you've got scratches, we need
No.
CCTV. Mm,
There
no,
must be more to the story. Obviously, there's always more to the story, but you only hear a
always.
snippet of it. But there must be more to the story. Like he must have some sort of, I don't know, misplaced mistrust from
Mm,
somewhere else. That maybe she's cheated on him before and now he doesn't trust her completely or something for him
yeah.
to automatically go there. But so it's hard to say, yes, he's the arsehole without having all of the facts. But if we were to just go on that information, I'd say, yeah, like it's just not, it's giving controlling vibes.
Yeah,
I'm not
like
down.
first time around as well. That's pretty steep to be like the first
And
thing,
also,
like we need CCTV. That's crazy. So you
yeah,
really don't trust me. Like you've just seen me demonstrate that I can reach that spot. And what kind of instruments do you have to measure the pressure in of which I've been able to scratch myself with? Like, who are you, sir? Like,
yeah,
no,
this isn't a CSI kind of it like episode.
it's not.
And we're married. Like, you know that I do this. This is not a new
Right.
behavior. You know that I
Yeah,
scratch myself at night when it's hot because I have itchy, sensitive skin. You know this about me. So it's not
that's right.
unfeasible for me to scratch myself.
Yeah. Have you
Oh
even asked me
man.
if I'm okay? Like, there was blood on the sheets. Like, something's going on with me. And instead of trying to comfort me, you want CCTV? No, you don't love me. How many times have I said that?
We're in such an attacking. Maybe alcohol isn't good for us. Jokes.
Oh
Oh.
dear. This episode has been sponsored by Echo Falls.
And Bacardi breezes.
Oh my gosh. So yeah,
Oh
he is
dear.
arsehole. Sir, calm down and support your wife. Okay. Next one. Here we go. Am I the arsehole? So we've got Bella. She has three sisters and one brother. The brother is the baby of the family. Okay. So they're having a family dinner. Mum, dad, and extended family are there as well. So we have uncles and aunts around the table. Bella is let's just say she's the oldest sister. I can't remember where in the ranks, but we'll just say she's the oldest for argument's sake. And she is having an argument with her younger brother. The younger brother is like the baby of the family. I say baby, he's like 22, Bella's 29. So they're of age. So they're going back and forth, so much so that they've missed the fact that everyone around the table is getting really annoyed with this argument that's happening over dinner. So Bella takes a very cheap shot at the younger brother, basically saying, I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin, and continues to eat her food. So obviously everyone's around the table, kind of shocked and a little bit appalled that she's punched so low, right? So the middle sister basically jumps in to her brother's defense because she feels like that was a low blow and says, not everybody needed to know that. Did we need to know that you slept with over 100 guys in college? Again, everyone is shocked and a little bit mortified at this, especially the middle sister's husband, who says, I feel like you've lied to me. Like, you didn't tell me about your past. I had no idea that you slept with so many people. He gets up from the table and storms off. Now, everyone is upset with this sister for having said that because they feel like she told too much, basically. And now her sister and husband are having marriage difficulties because he didn't know that she has slept with so many people during college. He basically feels like she lied to him. So the question is she the arsehole for having brought up that fact over dinner in defense of her brother?
Oh, yes. I feel like that was too much information. You could say no one needs to know you were a hoe back at college. You don't have to go into specifics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because she was just like, well, everyone knows that he's a virgin, it's no big deal. So she's like, well, everybody knows that you're no, I'm not
a
going to say
village
hoe.
bike.
Wow, because that's not terrible. Yeah, did she go too far? Is she an
I think
arsehole
they
for having said
both
that?
did. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because when you're with family, like, you feel like you can throw all of your toys out of the pram, but I feel like it's a different level when you have extended members, like
Yeah.
when it's mum, pops, and the siblings, all is fair. I feel like in
Because
that
that's the unit,
situation,
right? Yeah.
yeah, you're like going back to your childhood and just throwing it all out.
You regress a
But
bit.
when there's
Yeah, yeah.
like partners and extended family members, friends, like, you just don't need to go in at that level. Like, you should take that separate. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say she is an asshole for it, but purely because it was just unnecessary to throw that level of detail out there. But she's not an asshole for coming to her brother's defense.
Yeah. Agreed. 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 It was too far. I feel like there must be some like underlying issues because who says that? Like that's a big number as well. Like over 100 throughout college. I would say
I mean,
that's a lot. No, is it a
I
lot?
mean, it
If you're there
might
for
be a
four
lot.
years, 25 a year, maybe not. That was some.
Listen, to me, that sounds like a great time if you have the time and patience to deal with that shit. I would, like, I don't know. I know I was throwing out words and stuff and names about that, but I was just saying that for fun. Honestly, just do what the fuck you want to do as long
Do
as you're
your
being
business.
safe.
Yeah, yeah.
As long as
Oh
you're
yeah,
being
yeah.
safe in that scenario and you're not hurting other people, do you? Because
Yeah, for real.
childhood, that for me, that is childhood.
Youth.
Enjoy yourself. whilst you can. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a level of detail that people just don't need to know. At dinner, I mean,
Yeah.
still I'd be chowing down. I'd be one of them sisters going,
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
"Can you pass me the
But yeah,
gravy?"
I
Oh,
mean, even in front of the mum and dad is a bit ick for me. That's like sibling conversations for me. I guess, I mean, that
yeah.
says a lot about my family setup, to be fair. But as you said, there's just some things that just don't need to be brought up. And as you said again, in front of the extended family as well. Like, we don't know them like that. Not like the unit
No.
unit, you know?
That is meant that
But
those comments were meant to hurt, because otherwise you
yeah,
don't raise them. You don't need to, because you want people to know this person is a certain type of way and they feel insecure about this. You want to hurt people when you're
yeah.
throwing out comments like that. And I feel like that's why it should be with those who only know that information. So
Mm,
when you start giving out secrets, you've crossed a line. You've crossed a line,
that's a
which
good
therefore means you're an
point.
asshole.
Yeah. And now I can never trust you again. Look what you did.
That has disrupted, both of them has
You
just
ruined it all.
disrupted the friend, yeah, the family kind of unit. Oh, families, man, we've got enough issues as it is. Don't be bringing that shit to the table. Literally.
Oh my God.
Mm,
I've broken the seal. I again need to pee. I'm sorry.
go
Just
do it.
give me 1 sec.
Relieve.
Having fun though.
All right, I have 2 more and a story.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, are you ready for this one? I can't remember what number this is, but
It's the next one.
yeah, the next one. Okay, so this is a mother. Okay, she's writing, or she's bringing the situation that basically her daughter's best friend since nursery, right, is presenting like symptoms of being a picky eater. She's lost weight in the last year. And even her, like the girl's mum, has kind of raised it with her and said, I don't know what's going on. She's not really eating. I don't know what to do. They've discussed taking the girl to the doctors to get her checked out for like allergies or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, comes up that the daughter's friend's mum needs to go away on a work trip for a week. And so she's going to be staying at this lady's house. Because she doesn't want to make a big deal out of it. She just cooks meals as normal. So like the first night was like meatloaf, second night was like pasta. And this little girl is eating everything and not having any issues. Towards the end of the week, she's like, oh, and she's kind of mentioned even when she's like having food at school, she's getting like tummy aches and stuff like that. So she's, she's kind of opening herself up. So towards the end of the week, she confesses that basically all she's typically eating at home is like TV dinners, like stuff that goes in the microwave and whatnot.
Okay.
So this mum is like, she goes to the mum and says, look, she's been perfect all week. She's been eating all of her food. She's been really, really good. But she has mentioned that she's only getting TV dinners at home. I think what she needs is like home cooked meals.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the issue with this girl's kind of like problems.
Yeah.
So her thing is she the asshole? Because obviously this woman's like, don't tell me how to parent. Is she the asshole for basically telling this mum that she needs to cook more fresh meals for her daughter so that her daughter doesn't feel sick?
No, she's basically relaying essentially what the kid said. The kid said she's having TV dinners to however she said it. That's what she said, right? That's what she's having at home. And she clearly doesn't like it. And that's why she's a fussy eater. Like, no one wants to have a beige plate every night. I call them beige plates because listen, sometimes in this house, we be having TV dinners because I don't have the energy or the motivation to be over the stove, like with 3 and 4 pots, putting a meal together. For them to still be like, oh, I don't want that pot. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Sometimes it is all going in the air fryer. You're having your chips and you're having your dippers and whatever else. And again, it's all that kind of weird yellow color, which is why I call it a beige plate. It's a necessity sometimes, but if that's what you're having every single day, no, it's a problem. And it's highly processed. So it's no
yeah.
wonder that she's having stomach aches, you know? Um, again, it just comes down to parental duties. You kind of are forced to do a little better when you're, as best as you can with your kids. Every now and then you got to get something green on the plate. You have to, otherwise these problems arise. I don't think she's an asshole at all. It doesn't sound like there was any judgment. It was just like she ate here, fine, there was no problems. In a way, it should be kind of a relief to know that there isn't like a major problem. You just need
Yeah.
to like switch the food up a bit. So, I mean, I feel like I would do that. Oh, how would I say that though? I don't know. Come back to me about that. But I feel like I would find a way to pass that message on somehow. And if
I
it's like
know.
if our kids have been friends from nursery, they've basically known each other their whole lives, which means we've known each other for a good number of years now. And I feel like also if your kid's with me for a week, we're pretty
You trust
close.
me. Mm.
So, there's no judgment here. I'm not trying to, call you out or anything. I'm trying to help. We found what the issue is. I've got
I
some
know, and the
recipes if
fact
you
is
need
that
it.
she's come to her to say, "Oh, I don't know why she's not eating, and she's obviously losing
Yeah.
weight, and I'm worried about her." So I've just given you
The
a
answer.
suggestion. Yeah, I'm just like, this is what
Yeah.
I have observed, and based on what she has said, I feel like it could be this.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is maybe intersperse some of those TV dinners with some home cooked meals, and you can batch cook those and have them in the freezer, you know?
Oh, do you know what? Those are just like death words to me. Batch cook. If she doesn't do it, I understand why. The idea of batch cooking for me personally, I know I should, but I still haven't got around to doing that. I just, hate it. I don't want to be in the kitchen all day. Don't want to do it.
I
But
know,
the workaround for me is figuring out those healthy meals that you can cook in like 25, 30 minutes. It's very possible, you know?
yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
It just takes a
I
bit of
mean,
research, that's all.
kids are going to be fussy with vegetables anyway, so
Yeah.
don't feel too bad about the fact that they're not,
Yeah. Very
lapping
true.
up the broccoli and the sprouts and the cauliflower, because who the hell wants this white colored tree? That's my favorite vegetable. I love
Yeah,
a bit of
I was gonna say
roasted cauliflower now.
all the things you mentioned are my faves. Love a Brussels. Give me all the broccoli.
I know. I love it now, but when we're kids, we don't want any.
Yeah,
And I found
it's
out that
true.
apparently it's because actually when we're kids, we have more taste
Taste
buds. Like,
buds.
yeah.
Mm,
So when we're eating a bit of broccoli, it is wildly tasting like
yeah.
grass, So
And
we're just like,
and and the mouthfeel for broccoli is weird too. Like it is.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
weird. So understandable. And there's nothing worse than when you do make the effort to cook a really good, nutritious meal and you put it in front of them and they're just like, I'm not eating this. It's
Listen,
just
it doesn't just happen with kids. The number
okay.
of times where I have slaved over a meal and I have presented it and I have felt incredibly proud of myself because it looks banging
Yeah.
and tastes twice as good as it looks, for there to be coleslaw and plum tomatoes and ketchup and salt and pepper thrown all over it. Like, I don't season my own food. Hello.
We see the melanin. There is seasoning.
Please.
Oh my God.
So I get it. I do get it. It can be tough
Yeah,
and it can be so demoralizing. But I
it
mean,
is.
listen, there's 7 days in the week. If 3 of those days you've made an effort to cook a meal, that is better than none.
You're winning, honestly. it is tough out here. I was gonna say some weeks are better than others. Some months are better than others. Like, sometimes the bottom line is, did they eat? Yes. But then
And if it isn't for the kids, do it for yourself because you will feel better for eating that
yeah,
food as well.
very true. Oh, I'm having fun. You're a great time, doll.
Oh, thank you so much for today. I honestly like this afternoon versus this morning or night and day. I feel
Totally
like I
get it.
can take on the world now. Now I'm just like,
Yeah.
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I love this for us. Okay, next. So this is an Am I the Arsehole? So let's see if I can remember this. Okay. So this lady that has written in, she has many friends, but two of them in particular are actors and they're
Okay.
dating. She calls them small actors in the sense that we can say something.
Yeah. So they're dating each other.
Oh, no, very good
Okay.
specification. No, they're dating other people. They
Okay.
have partners. There we go. They have partners. So she says that they're small actors in the sense that they've been in a couple TV shows and at the very most have had kind of like two lines, right? So they're in things, but not notable characters.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically posts a group picture on Instagram where everyone in the picture kind of has their arms running arms everyone in the picture has their arms around one another. So it's her, these two actor friends and their partners and other people. It's giving like, big group, very platonic. It's fine. So both of these actor friends approach her and ask her to take the picture down because they don't want the public to know that they're dating. So she's thinking, what public? Like, you're not famous. Calm down. She said to them, you guys don't even have a proper IMDb. Like, you don't have that many followers. You're not famous, is what she said to them. Now, they were just like, well, we don't want, our pictures being in the, do they call them, not glad rags? What do they call it? Shit, I should refer to the story. Basically, they don't want to be in the tabloids, right? As they don't want to be in the tabloids. So they're like, can you take the picture down? Because yeah, we want to keep our private life private. She goes back with, you're not famous. They kind of ice her out a little bit. She's not sure if she went too far with the whole you're not famous comment. What do you think? Is she an arsehole? Or are they doing too much?
I mean, a bit of both. I feel like her approach to that was a bit harsh. Um, but also, who do you think you are?
Also, you're not famous.
I think I think the whole thing, oh, we don't want the public to know is a bit extra, but I'd just be like, I mean, look, if you don't want the picture up, you don't want the picture up. Fine, I'll take the picture down. I didn't feel as though there was any need for her to be like, bitch, you ain't famous. Kind of, there was just no need.
Yeah. The whole you don't even have an IMDb is, I feel like she's mad
Listen,
about something because that's
that
a
was
very
extra.
low blow. That's a
Yeah,
very low blow.
there's no need to bring that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
I
definitely
feel
a
like
sense
she's
of
failed a
like,
couple auditions and she's mad.
absolutely. Yes. Um, so I think she's not an asshole per se, but that was definitely asshole behavior.
Mm.
Um,
I think she's an
and
asshole. Like, we're
do
friends.
you?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're friends. So, and when it comes to for me, when it comes to posting on social media, if you have someone else in that picture with you and they're not comfortable with that picture being up, you've got to take it down. Or
Yeah.
like blur them out then. If it's like such a big group, it's not gonna, the tools are there to just blur out a face. Do that. But if someone says they don't want an image of them out, take it down. If
Yeah.
we're mates, you will respect that. You know, whether you agree with their point of view or not, that's their image. They're your friend. You're supposed to love them. Take it down. That
Yeah.
whole you don't even have a proper IMDb. I was just like, oh, you're not nice.
No, that's why I had to say it was asshole behavior, because like
Yeah,
that was such a low blow. Like,
yeah,
in fact, you don't even need to say public, like you're not famous. You don't have to say that at all. You might think it, but you don't have to
yeah.
say it. You
You
can
have to
just be
keep it on the
like,
inside.
okay, cool, I'll take it down. Do you know what I mean? That's the end of the
Yeah,
conversation. So yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's not
it's
nice.
ridiculous.
For all she knows, they could be like foreshadowing, you know, just like putting it out there that that's the future that they want. Support your friend, you know?
Yeah.
You're not nice, lady. Mm-mm.
No wonder they
And for the
started icing her
and
out. Like, why would you want to include someone who doesn't believe in your dream?
that part. And she didn't, I think I did see that she didn't actually take the picture down. She left it up there. So
Oh,
for that, she's most definitely
yeah. They're having
a
brunches without
butthole.
you. Sorry, bitch.
I
You'll be
hope they do
walking
blow
past
up.
one day. Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely gonna become completely famous, and
Yeah.
you know they're gonna ignore your congratulations. I know you could do it emails when you get around to sending them.
That is absolute villain behavior, isn't it? Like, just in that motivates you to make your
Yeah,
dream truly come true. That I'm gonna show you.
absolutely.
Oh man. No one needs
I'm
friends
getting
like that.
I'm getting drunk eye now.
Oh girl, my whole face is drunk. Okay. Last, am I the asshole from me? Probably a good job because I can't function.
Yeah.
Words are becoming very difficult. Like, I can even feel like my lips just don't want to move anymore.
Literally.
Um, okay, so this one is we have D, who is on a secondment in a like Germanic kind of country. Not that that's even relevant, but somewhere in Europe. She's about 27
Okay.
and she is there for a fixed time. So she's been there for about 6, 7 months, and she's befriended one of her colleagues who's a bit older than her, about 60. Let's call her Hilda. And Hilda is has invited her to her daughter's wedding. So I should point out that I'm going to call her D. D is from an African country.
Mhm.
So, as this is like her first official all white party, and by white, I mean no other brown people in attendance.
Oh. Okay.
Not giving Diddy vibes here. So, she's
Yeah, I
going
was
to
okay.
this wedding. So,
Funny.
she's like, oh, is there anything that I should be aware of? Like, what's the dress code? Like, kind of what's the vibe? So I know that I'm showing up. Do I need to bring anything? And
Yeah.
Hilda's just basically said, no, just dress to impress. So, given her background, weddings are like a fashion show, but because she doesn't really know the vibe, she's toning it down a bit. So although she's going in her like traditional wear, she's gone for a kind of more muted color of green, but she looks fabulous, right?
Okay.
So she's rocked up to this wedding and people are giving her compliments. And because she doesn't want to take away from the bride's day, she's kind of like accepting the compliments, but trying to just play it down a little bit. When it comes to like the wedding party, she's on the outskirts of things, not really trying to get too much
Okay.
involved.
Yeah.
She bumps into her friend Hilda at the wedding, and Hilda's given her kind of like coldish vibes, but she's just like, it's her daughter's wedding. She's probably got lots of duties and like a bit stressed
Yeah.
and stuff. So doesn't pay any mind to it. She does mention though that when she speaks to the bride is like downright rude to her, but she's just like, maybe she's just, it's her wedding day, she's stressed, there's strangers
Yeah.
at her wedding, you know? Anyway, comes to Monday when she goes back into work, and people are like whispering and behind her back and that, and she doesn't really know
No.
what's going on. Turns out that Hilda is basically telling everyone that she outshone her daughter, like outshone the bride at her own wedding with her choice of outfit, it being very inappropriate, very outlandish and stuff. And Dee's kind of gone back and said, hang on a minute though, because I asked the question what I should
Yeah.
wear, because it's not, I've never been to a European wedding before, so I don't really know what the tradition is. And you
Yeah.
told me to dress to impress. And in my country, that means going all out, but I muted that. So I don't really feel like it's fair for you to tell me I've outshone the bride, because that was definitely not my intention. And I did everything that I needed to do in order to find out information beforehand. But Hilda's having none of it and just saying like, people in this country have manners and they don't try to dress up an
Oh,
occasion. And, you know, so she's basically
yes.
calling her an insolent child. So you're answering the question, is she an arsehole? No.
Yes. Yes. It was. Yes. Hilda
Oh,
is an
because
arsehole.
yeah, Hilda is maybe, but Dee's asking, is she the arsehole for outshining the bride at her own wedding?
Dee, listen, you can't. No, girl. You did all the things that needed to be done. You checked first about the dress code, and you were told to dress to impress, and that's what you did. And even, but oh my God, hold on.
The eyes are closing. The eyes are closing.
It's like the Christmas special all over again. D is not your fault. You are like a glamazon and you can't help it. You tried to contain it and you did, you muted it down. But it's not your fault that everyone is walking around looking like a plain Jane, you know? And also, Hilda knows where you're from. She knows what the culture is roughly about and what it looks like. Like, you're going to come in your African garb. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't like this whole. Okay, hold on. It's giving racism. To be fair, a lot of things do. Like, I am from Africa. You've seen what we wear. You've seen it.
Yeah, I'm
You've
not coming
seen
in
it.
beige, bitch. Okay, so
We don't do
you
that.
know.
And even then, I totally. And also, more than likely, I'm gonna be like the only black person here, or one of a handful. I'm very clearly not the bride. I can't upstage the. I'm a guest, quite clearly. I'm keeping myself to the outskirts. I'm on the side of all the pictures. Crop me out if need be, then, girl. Like, at this point, I don't care. Why am I talking like I'm the guest?
I
I
know,
just feel
but
very,
also,
very offended.
of
But it's
course,
just
you
like,
should be, because at the end of the day, even if I am one of a small number of brown people at a majority white wedding, we're already going to be centers of attention.
that
If you are
part.
the only black
Yeah,
person, brown person, purple person, yellow person, it doesn't matter what color you are, then you are going to be drawing attention, like
yeah.
regardless of whether or not it's a wedding, any kind of thing. So
Just
it's
by breathing, girl.
yeah, it's unfair for someone to be like,
Yeah.
no, listen, if you listen, bride, if you didn't make much of an effort on your own wedding, that's your own damn fault. Soz.
Yeah. It's not my fault
It's
she's
your
wearing a
day.
summer dress. Like,
No, this isn't just a random Wednesday, okay? It's a wedding day. Make an
that's
effort.
literally that's crazy for Hilda to have an attitude, saying that she upstaged. Like, obviously, if she's wearing traditional garb, she's not gonna look anything like anybody else. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like she too came in a white veiled
Yeah.
dress. Like, there's not going to be any similarities at all. Calm down and don't invite me to shit again, because I'm not coming. You're terrible. Goodbye. And also it just says like a lot about you, like the insecurity that you have. You're projecting basically,
Yeah.
you upstaged it, like calm down. Like, no, I didn't. I just looked great and you knew it. Do better yourself.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Do
Meet me
better.
where I'm at.
Well, exceed.
Okay, so I have a list here of petty peeves that I thought would be fun to go through. So the first one is micromanagement. People don't like it being, why am I reading like a robot? Most people don't like being insinuated that they can't do their work well. Micromanaging inherently does that because why is it explaining it? Okay, fine. I'm just going to list them. Let me start that all again. Okay, so I've got a list here of I have a list here of petty peeves. Let's just go through and see which ones we agree with or which ones we can kind of let go. So the first one, micromanagement. How are we feeling about it?
No, hate.
The worst?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you employed me because I can do my job, so let me get on with it.
Also, I'm an adult. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me do the things. You're not
I
my
mean,
mother or my
that's
father.
hang on, but I'm just bringing my words back in because there are people who do need to be micromanaged because they don't do their job. If you are not doing your job, fair enough.
Yeah.
If I am doing my job, leave me the fuck alone because I'm getting paid to do this. So let me just do it.
Because at this point, I'll just like hand it over, like, you do it then. Because why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am
I
I
mean,
here?
if you're telling me every single thing I need to do, just do it. Just do
Literally.
it. Also, I'm just going to say, for those who have managed to get this far, I apologize. I'm swearing too much or so much, but alcohol does that. It loosens my lips and a lot of swear words come out.
I don't even feel like you've sworn.
Oh, God.
Maybe it's
I
just like white noise to
definitely
me at this
have.
point.
Yeah, which speaks a lot about how much I swear. So,
okay, second one, loud chewing or drinking. Definitely a petty peeve. I don't think I mind the chewing so much, but you can absolutely not slurp around me. Like, no. Yuck.
noted.
If it's too hot, let it cool down then. Like, why are you slurping? No.
Yeah.
No, or am I doing too much?
No, it definitely gives kindergarten nursery vibes when someone's
Slurping.
and slurping and stuff. I'm not here for I'm not here for a open mouth chew. But if it's something crunchy, there's nothing you can do about that.
What is worse, an open mouth chew or slurping?
For me, it's an open mouth chew. Like, we are not cows in a field chewing the cud. So shut your damn mouth. I don't want to see what you're eating at the same time. Like, no, thank you.
Oh my God, I always feel a way talking about this with you, but the next one is being late. I have got no dog in this fight.
Sometimes lateness happens, and look, stuff happens. It maybe, I think more and more I'm finding actually as I get a little bit older, I underestimate how long things take.
Okay.
So there are times where I'm like, oh shoot, I was expecting to be here 5 minutes ago and I'm on my way, but I am going to be a bit late. That kind of stuff, that doesn't matter to me. If you like, oh, I'm going to be a few minutes late, fair enough. But if it's a case of no contact whatsoever,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
or you're like, it's 5 minutes to when you're supposed to meet me and you're telling me you're gonna be 15 minutes, part of me makes me think you knew this earlier and you've left it until now to tell me.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to be feeling a certain kind of way.
Ooh, 15 minutes, girl. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying this. I was supposed to be somewhere last weekend at 4 o'clock. And at 4 o'clock, I was at home still, lotioning my skin. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I apologize profusely and I brought extra liquor. But yeah, I've not been that late in a very long time. And in my defense, do I have a defense?
No,
I don't really. I don't really have.
no.
But well, in my defense, no, I kind of do. I knew that a lateness buffer had been put in place because the majority of that person's friendship group are notoriously late. So I knew that there was like at least an hour buffer in, because there's been times when she's had, this is me like trying to defend myself now. There's been times when she's had events and she's been like, it starts at 3 and I've gotten there at like 10 to 3 and she's been like, okay, it restarts at 4, but my people don't know time, so I've given them an hour. So I'm like sitting there for an extra hour waiting.
In those
So
situations, you need to tell the other group of friends the time and tell your actual friends when you expect them to be there, the time that they need to be
yeah,
there. Like,
the ones that know
don't be giving
time.
don't give mixed messages. Just if it starts at 3, then tell the late people it starts at 2 and they'll arrive
Okay.
at 3, and tell your mates who turn up on time it's 3 o'clock.
So basically know your audience.
Yes, definitely.
Fair.
There's that layer of things, but also if we're saying we're going to be doing something at a certain time and you're coming to mine at a certain time and you arrive an hour late, I have prepared things to be
Mm,
ready for the time that I said to be here for. I'm not
okay.
preparing things an hour later because I want to spend time in your company for that
Fair.
hour.
Fair. That's
But
good for me
that's
to
just
know
me.
about you. Know that's good for me to know about you, because for me it's like, if you're coming to my house, I kind of don't care what time you get here because I'm at home. Like I like to be here, you know. But if I'm meeting you like out on road at a certain time, I would like for us to be on time, you know, because we're outside around the people. There's no, you know. But being at home, I don't care. But it's good to know that with you, wherever it is, get there on time. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if we don't have plans at home, if you're literally coming over and we're watching a movie
We
and
just
we're
hang.
ordering food, then cool. But if I'm like, I'm cooking something, I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah.
cooking whilst you're here. So
Yeah, for
I
real.
want to be relaxing and enjoying my time with you rather than like, let's eat and then we could do all of the good stuff. I
Yeah,
want to get
yeah.
that shit out of the way.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Okay, so if you're going to Amy's house, be on time.
get there on time.
Uh, being interrupted whilst speaking. Pet peeve or doesn't bother you?
It depends. If I'm making a poignant point
Mm.
and like you jump in, especially if it's a kind of heated
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
um, then it's a pet peeve. If it's just general conversation, chit chat, that doesn't bother me. As long as you're not like, I don't know why, but I have this image in my head where it's like, you know, when you're doing French skipping? Is it French skipping?
Double Dutch?
Double Dutch, yeah, where you see the person on the end like,
French skipping. Hold on.
I don't,
Where did that
just,
come from?
first of all, can I tell you? So let's not go there.
The fact that I got double Dutch from French skipping says a lot.
Says 20
That
plus years
is
of friendship.
jokes.
That's what that shit says.
Hilarious. Okay, yeah.
There must
Wait,
be a
what?
thing of French skipping, right? There must be. I don't
Don't
know.
try and make it a thing. No, you're basically just skipping in France. That's what French skipping is.
Anyway, the motion, if you can tell someone is itching
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
say something,
I see where you're going
like,
now.
then I'm just
Yeah.
like, just say what you need to say,
Say your
okay?
piece.
Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jump on in, just do the thing. Oh man. Okay, yeah.
I don't
What's the
know.
next
I
one?
hate people that interrupt constantly because I feel like you didn't actually want to have a conversation with me. You just want to talk. In which case, like, it just makes me not want to participate because if
Mm,
we're, having a back and forth, and every time I start talking, you're like getting in there with some next point, it tells me you're not really listening to me. You're literally just waiting to get your next thing in. So I hate that. That makes me not want to participate. I
it's
have a family
interesting because
member that is notorious for that, and I can let that man chat and he will, So I'm just like, I'm just there, I'm
yeah,
just there.
there's lots of different levels of it because there's a case of someone's lack of self-awareness that they're doing it and
Yeah.
not letting another person speak. There's a cultural piece to it because like luckily this person doesn't listen to our podcast because they think it's too long. So I don't have an issue saying the story. But this person comes from a different country, and from the country that they're from, they talk over each other all the time. And it's a
Yeah.
demonstration of how engaged they are in a conversation. So you could
Okay,
have
that's
lots
fair.
of people chipping in because they're like so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Being the reserved English person that I am,
You
that
know,
grated on me for a while until they told me the story. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
okay, that makes sense. Because there'd be a time where I'd be like,
yeah.
fine. Okay, I'm just not going to speak if you need. And they're
Literally.
like, no, 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 I want to hear what you're saying. And just like, well, how
But do
can you
you?
hear what I'm saying?
Do you? How do I know that?
Exactly. And then there
Yeah.
is this thing I heard or watched or read somewhere about people with neurodivergencies who their way of understanding and communicating that they understand is by jumping in and also telling you a story that is similar to what you're telling, because
Mm,
they're like, oh, and that's happened to me, or oh, and this is the situation I've witnessed, because they're engaging. So it is difficult. As much as it might frustrate, you kind of need to know where the other person is coming from.
that makes sense. Because there are
Yeah.
times that I absolutely do that. But I will always be like, oh my God, I've literally just cut you off. What were you saying? So, I didn't know it was kind
Yeah.
of a telltale of neurodivergence. That's interesting. Look at you knowing things and teaching me. Cool.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else we have on this list. Talking during a movie. Pet peeve or
Absolutely detest it. Don't fucking say a word. Watch the damn movie.
I
I
don't
don't know anything more than you do. We are
that
watching the
part
same shit.
that part I don't know. I'm right here with you. I'm also clueless, and if you'd stop talking, we'd find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh God, it's
look,
worse
if
when the person has like seen the movie and they're like, oh, this part, this part. Like, turn it off. I don't want to know now.
I
It's
watch it in
done.
my own damn time,
Literally.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am all for engaging in, like, if it's something really intriguing, you're like, oh my God, wouldn't it be interesting if this, and then does that link to this? If I've got questions, I will pause it.
Okay.
I am someone who pauses a film. So I will be
No, I've
like,
noticed
do you mind
that
if I pause
actually.
real quick? And just like, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
explore something because maybe I haven't understood something or maybe I've missed something. So I just want to check in. And then I'm
yeah.
like, okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's watch next. And then continue.
Yeah.
So
Do you do that
yeah,
with everybody?
Everybody. I have been
Okay.
known, I am known in my family to not talk whilst watching something. It's not just a film, it's anything.
Not the not talking, the pausing bit.
Oh, the pausing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll still pause. Like, I don't
Okay.
want to interrupt someone's watching. So I don't want to be that person who's talking over a film because then they might, or program, because they might
Yeah.
miss stuff. So I'll just like, I'll ask the quick question, do you mind if I pause? Pause it, talk all the thing, rewind it to the bit that I've just kind of like mentioned
Yeah.
something so that they don't miss anything. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm very conscientious when I'm watching something. So I
Yeah.
don't want to miss any of it. I don't want you to miss any of it, but I do want to have a detailed conversation and a breakdown because your map of the world is different to my map of the world. Maybe you saw something I didn't see, and it would be really interesting to like just mix that in. And I'm 4 glasses deep. Okay. So,
Yeah. Okay, let's go into the next one.
okay.
Um, turning, so driving, but turning without indicating. Pet peeve, or can we let this go? I just want
No.
to
Go on.
say, agreed. You could kill us and wreck our cars. What are you doing? And it's even worse when they want to have an attitude, like when you're continuing to drive and you like nearly hit them and they're just like, what are you doing? It's like, what are you doing? As another driver, that's irritating. As a pedestrian, that's irritating because as many times I've nearly been wiped off the face of this planet because someone just went on their merry way without letting me know where they were going.
Yeah.
That
And now I think that
I hate.
pedestrians have right of way, don't they? So, like, especially if they're turning a corner, you
Yeah.
can just continue walking across the road.
Yeah, but then why are you like honking at me or looking at me like that? I didn't know where you were going. How am I supposed
I
to know?
have, I have definitely become. I know I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago about the, oh, I'm sorry, oop, I'm sorry, get off the fucking road. But I'm just like, I have a lot of rage deep down inside. And sometimes it bubbles to the surface and you
Yeah.
get a piece of it. I have been known to stop dead as a pedestrian, stop dead in the road and just stand there and
I
look at
love
you
it. I love it. I
because,
love the passive aggressiveness. I do because what are you doing? What
yeah,
are you? You're not an ambulance. There's no hurry. Calm down. Lives are at stake here.
especially if your indicator is not on, I will literally be like looking at the light.
Yeah.
Oh, you're turning, are you? Because there's no way for me to know that shit. So,
Also,
and
you're sitting
then
down and very comfortable right now. You have AC on, you have music on. I'm on my 2 feet walking and probably sweaty because that's what happens when I walk. And I nearly just died. And you want to have an attitude with me? No, sir. And I'm saying sir because it almost always is a guy. And I know I
or an
probably come
old
across
person.
as like, I mean, old people kind of get a little bit of leeway with me.
No, they don't. You've been on this earth long enough to know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, but do they
So,
remember? So I kind of give them a little leeway. I kind of do.
okay, granted. Fair enough. Next.
um, saying no offense after saying something that had full offense in it. Pet peeve or a believing alone.
No, it's not really a pet peeve, but I mean, there's just no point. Anything after a but is just not worth saying. Like, or full stop and it's a point
Okay.
you want to make, so just make the point. Don't try and make excuses. Just say what you need to say and own that shit. Because I'd be like, but no offense, you made offended me. You have offended me. So there is no, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You clearly did mean to do it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said the shit.
Stand in it, basically.
Maybe now is not a right time for me to be listening to these pet peeves. I feel very aggressive.
And alcohol fueled as well.
I
Okay.
mean,
Being told to calm down.
ah!
That one, I knew where that was going. That was my bad. Sorry. So we know that is just the worst. You basically asked to see rage by telling me to calm down. Now you're trolling me knowingly.
Yeah. I do have someone who likes to press my buttons in those situations. So I think I've become quite good at recognizing when it's like a bait,
Yeah.
but that will trigger me more if you really mean it. So if you're like, oh man, just calm down, like calm down, hang on a minute, calm down, you know you're in for a fight then.
Having someone state, "You look tired."
No,
That for
it's not a
me
pet
is a
peeve.
no, that's a pet peeve for me, because who wants to hear that?
No
Whoever
one wants to
wants to
hear
hear
it.
that? Because if I am actually tired, then you know that I'm on the brink because I am tired. If I don't feel tired and I actually feel quite zesty, but then to hear, "Oh no, you look knackered like a zombie," no, no, you're offensive and you don't love me.
Line of the episode.
Let's have a look. Let's see what else we've got on this list. Eating smelly food in public. Pet peeve or no?
Mm, no, it's not a pet peeve. It's not a pet peeve. I mean, you need to eat when you need to eat, right? So I think that you should just be more considerate where you're eating, what you're eating. If it was like on a bus or a tube, then I
Mm,
might have something to say because I'm in a confined space. But if you're sitting in a park, which is a public place,
yeah,
then do your thing.
I agree. I mean, even on a tube, to be fair, like, yes, consideration should be had because, as you said, it is a confined space. But I'm just like, it's outside, it's public. So, really, this is the Wild West. Anything goes, you know? So, I don't love it, but people are nuts and I expect people to be nuts.
Yeah, I suppose smelly food is probably better than smelling someone's armpits or other private places. And on those
Yeah,
confined spaces, you can smell that a lot. So I'd
yeah,
rather a very zesty food beverage to that.
true. Agreed. I'll just do two more. Spoilers.
Oh,
People
pet
that gives
peeve. No, keep your thoughts to yourself. I mean, fair enough. If I'm like half a series behind, then granted it's going to happen. But if I'm like an episode behind, then
Yeah.
don't tell me shit. I think actually when Game of Thrones was out, the last kind of series of Game of Thrones, I actively put it on my socials. Do not tell any spoilers because me and you will be done. If I can find that, I will post it.
Shucks. Last one. Tailgating. Oh,
Guilty.
you do it.
Yeah.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah, I do. Not all the time.
So what's the reason? What's the
So
reason?
basically, what it is if someone is frustrating me on the road, and by frustrating, I mean like ridiculously being slow in a kind of I don't know, dictated speed limit to the point that it is just because it is actually quite dangerous,
Oh, okay.
then I won't be afraid to be up your ass. But I'm not like bumper to bumper, okay?
Yeah.
I will make my presence known for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Folks. Sorry. It's the season of rosé. My bad. Maybe we won't do this too often because I'm finding it very difficult to keep it together. So let me end it here before this descends into even further chaos. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of It's All Frolics. We are in all the places where you scroll. So Instagram, Facebook,
Sorry, I'll be 2 seconds. Sorry.
That's fine. See, this is what happens, like real life stuff. We have lives outside of this. I'll tell you while she's gone. We're in all the places: Facebook, Insta, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Spotify, YouTube Music. We are everywhere. It's all Frolics. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. You made it this far, so you probably did have a good time. Let us know. Any comments or suggestions, anything at all, DM us, leave a comment. We'd love to read them. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.